couple things. So you guys know I'm notorious for unflavored seltzer water. And this week, some friends of mine gave me some shit. They said I was a psychopath for drinking unflavored. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, let's try a flavor. And I bought mojito flavor. And let me tell you something, this is the worst shit I've ever drank in my entire fucking life.
Wait, hold on, let me see it. What brand is it? Is it
it's Kroger brand?
Kroger.
Oh, well, that's why you're going to the bottom of the barrel.
But that's what I always drink is Kroger brand, and this shit is fucking horrible. But I refuse to waste the money, so I'm on my last one. We're gonna finish it together here on this pod. But that was a mistake. I'm going to go back to my unflavored ones because this was a mistake.
Did you just get one, or did you get a 6-pack, or however many?
I got a 12-pack.
Oh God,
a 12-pack. So I've had to choke down 11 of these thus far. So hopefully I never make this mistake again.
You might like it by the 12th one. You might like it. That's the trick.
Yeah, this may be the moment. Okay, Anthony had a story about F1 that he wanted to tell us, but he wanted to save it for the pod. He said it's going to upset me.
Well, I only even mentioned it because off the pod, Blake had some correlation to F1, and I was just like, oh yeah, that movie doesn't register with me because here's why. I went to the theater in IMAX, and I got all the way to the point to then where I don't even think it was Brad Pitt. It was another character. There was a montage, a training montage, and like I'm not that emotionally invested in car racing at all. So like the only way this movie gets me is if it's like if there's some drama happening, like outside of the track, that will keep me invested in this story. So I basically walked out of the movie once this montage happened, just because like like I was
what
it's sitting through.
You left the movie?
Yeah. I mean, well, I'm not. I wasn't deeply invested in the movie. You know,
were you the guy that was like throwing a fucking fit when I didn't finish Beau is Afraid?
Well,
saying like how morally bankrupt I am for not finishing a film that I sat down to watch.
That's what he said necessarily.
Well, that was a required viewing per the podcast rules, right? Now, F1 hasn't been brought to the podcast, so if you want me to finish it, I'll finish it, but on those rules alone. You know, it's just it was just not an interesting movie to me personally. And like if I'm not invested in it after 30 minutes or 30, 45 minutes, however long it took, the rest of the movie is torture for me. And I had a serious debate with myself because I knew this conversation would come up at some point, and I knew you were going to shake your head just like you are.
I can't believe you've hid this long.
No one asked me.
I can't believe you purposely hid this. You went out of your way to hide this.
This happened this summer, I guess. You know, so this summer something funny happened. So Superman came out and Trey was like, yes. And F1 came out and Blake was like, yes. And for me, Jurassic World, the newest one, whatever, I was like, okay, something for me, you know? So like that was mentally where I was at that point in time. And like, I got that, but then I didn't even give Superman a try. Like I knew it's just not for me, but F1, I was like, I'll give it a shot. I really like Brad Pitt, but yeah, it just didn't do it for me. And that was the choice I had to make in real time, which was just go out, and it doesn't bother. I don't lose any sleep over that at all, but Blake might.
That's really like interesting to me because I think like one of the things that people really like, casual fans that don't watch F1, they like, from what I've read from people online and reviews and stuff, they like the fact that there's really like not a ton of story outside of the racing. Like it's basically just a shit ton of racing and like car driving, and that's what interests them. Like, because there was a whole love interest with JP, the other driver, the younger driver. Yeah, and they cut all that out. So like it's basically essentially just like the racing and kind of Brad Pitt's story, and a lot of people like that. Yeah. It's interesting that you're the complete opposite. Like I thought, you don't think the racing sequences weren't enough to keep you in it?
It was more like it seemed like a showcase of the filming techniques that they were able to do on that movie. You know, they had the rotating camera that was like tracked to the
which guy. I thought was sick.
It's interesting, but like it's not like holy shit, I can't wait to watch it again.
That's exactly what he says when he hates things.
It's interesting.
What? That it's interesting?
It's interesting. I mean, it's okay. You know? I mean, it's a cool trick, right? But I mean, it doesn't put me in there for the duration of the movie. It got me to the seat, but you gotta pay to make me really invested.
I mean, I thought that movie was just okay. Like, I didn't think it was anything crazy. I thought it was fine. But I
thought it was good.
Theater.
I think Ford vs Ferrari is like the best racing movie of all time, and nothing will ever top that.
I actually just watched that like a week or two ago.
Really?
Yes, so good.
So
we did that
good.
on the podcast, didn't we? Yeah. So I mean, that was a good one. Yeah, I'm into it.
I think it's a lot better. Yeah. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I'll try to push through the heartbreak here and record this podcast, even though it's pretty gut-wrenching news I just received. Solely Biased Music. It's Blake, Trey, and Anthony. Today we're reviewing Ace by Bob Weir and 28 Years Later. So if you watch 28 Days or Weeks Later, this is the wrong podcast. So go find a different one.
I'm kidding. Okay. But I almost fucked up. I did.
Hey. It's another good movie too. But anyway,
a little bit about Ace. So this is a Trey pick. We picked it obviously because Bob Weir just passed away. Rest in peace, Bob Weir. And a little bit about Ace. Ace is an album by Grateful Dead singer and guitarist Bob Weir. His first solo album was released in 1972. Weir's bandmates in the Grateful Dead back him on the album, and all but one of the songs became a staple of the band's live shows. The album's origins were an offer by the Dead's Warner Bros. Records label to have band members cut their own solo records, and it came out the same year as Jerry Garcia's Garcia and Mickey Hart's Rolling Thunder. However, in the case of Ace, Weir's backing band was the Dead itself minus Pigpen, and all the songs except for Walkin' Sunshine became concert staples to the Dead. So I just got to say right off the bat, that makes a lot more sense reading the sound of this album, because the entire time I was listening to it, I was like, this just sounds like a Grateful Dead album, which is very cool to me. Like, it's not a negative knock on it, but I was surprised how much it sounded like Dead music until you realize that the entire band is basically helping him with it. But he wrote, like, this is the first one that he wrote the majority of the songs, which I also found interesting with some of the songs in here. But this was my first full listen of a Bob Weir solo album. What about you, Trey? You picked this. Was it yours as well?
It was not, only because I'd listened to that album that he came out with like relatively recently called Blue. Well, I guess damn, it was a decade ago. Called Blue Mountain, where it has like that kind of moody picture of him on the cover. And stark difference between those two records. That's much more of like a singer-songwriter type of thing going on, and obviously like Bobby in a bit of a older state and a little more slowed down, as he was known to do in his elder years. But this is I did not listen to this album until after his death recently, and just to touch on that for a second, Bob Weir was someone that felt like he was going to live forever. The guy was super healthy. Played probably 250 nights a year, was constantly playing music, was just always in, the jam band zeitgeist, whether he was sitting in with like Billy Strings or like Trey Band or anything like that. So it was, obviously difficult. It's difficult to see some of these legends pass, and it makes me feel kind of old, and I'm sure it makes people that followed the Dead in the 70s and 80s, and I'm sure there's still some of those folks around from the 60s. I'm sure, I can't imagine how it makes them feel. So I felt like it was important for us to do this, right now while we're doing it. And it was a fantastic record. Honestly, one of the best like Dead studio albums, or one of the most enjoyable ones for me, at least. Some of the production on here is a lot more focused. I feel like it sounds really good, especially when you get into some of these songs that I'd only really heard in more of a live setting, not in person, but like listening to recordings. Songs like Black Throated Wind, and like Cassidy and Greatest Story Ever Told, like the production I feel like is a lot more lush than what comes through in your live settings. So I mean, even the very beginning of Greatest Story Ever Told, like it from the jump, I'm like, I remember being like, oh, like this sounds like an actual studio album, not just like some guys that jammed that got together and laid down a track. But yeah, curious what your history is with it, Anthony, and obviously probably the larger of the Deadhead of the three of us.
I'll let you say that, but I mean, like, my history with the Grateful Dead was really self-explored. Like, when I never listened to the Grateful Dead when I was younger. I think I mentioned in the past, I had all these wrong preconceived notions of what their music even sounded like before I heard it, And then once I started listening to it, I really listened, obviously to a lot of live sets. And through listening to the live sets, I realized Jerry's not the only singer. There are other voices. I have no idea who they are, right, at the time. So that really kind of started the journey into digging into the individuals of the band. I mean, Pigpen is in this time period in the 70s and then late 60s, he's a big figure in the band. It's like a big folk singer, like very energetic, kind of wild guy. But like I would hear his voice and be like, who the hell is that? And then if you listen to Europe 72, which is a classic Grateful Dead set, it's been published in so many different ways. At the end of the live set, there's a kind of 2-minute long track called The Old Yellow Dog, I think. And it's this guy telling us just a story on stage, and it's Bob, and for the longest time I had no idea, who was doing what, who was writing what song, who was partnering with this other co-writer. John Perry Barlow is like Bob Weir's co-writer. They wrote so much together, and then same as Jerry with Robert Hunter. So for me, it was a whole world of discovery into who these guys were and what their kind of art was like individually and then collectively. But I really always looked at it as a collective. I didn't even realize Bob Weir had solo albums till Trey, you sent me this album. Like I've just never thought to dig in that direction. And this album came out the same year as the Garcia album that we did too. So it's like, for me, I'm having all this discovery happening even after his death, which is, it hurts me to say that, but I also love the fact that it's there to go through. Bob talked endlessly about how the Grateful Dead music, he wanted it to live on for 300 years. Like that was a goal. And I mean, it's going to, as long as there's technology and humans around, I think this music will be shared in one way or another. But like the fact that there's still so much to discover, it's infinite, and that's just to me super, super cool. And what I kind of learned as I listened to these sets, Jerry was, of course, the big figure, but Bob was like this energy turbine that would just turn on and just take the momentum and go with it and run with it. And you pair him with Donna Jean's vocals too, which is laced throughout this album. And that's like a 1-2 punch of just energy. And that's how I always looked at Bob, was like he was just this locomotive, this train riding hillbilly, straw chewing, cowboy hat wearing, like country, like cowboy. He felt like to me like he was the cowboy of the band. And for him joining at 17, I mean, what a life. I mean, like I can't even imagine. But just to hear, I watched the eulogy, and to hear people talk about him in that type of way was just super, super cool, because I know he would probably like not want to hear those words being talked about him, but like he's a figurehead, he's on that Mount Rushmore as just a figure of music. And I think his like songwriting side will forever shine too. He might be, kind of blended in with this Grateful Dead, but like he is a figure of his own, just like I think every single member of that band is. So really, really stoked to dive into this. This is a good pick.
I thought it was insane that, I mean, he arguably probably played live music longer than anybody else in the history of music, right? Like he has to be up there if he's not the
more shows than anyone else.
I guarantee it's the shows, but even length of time from 70. Because how old was he when he passed? Do you guys know?
He was
80 something.
4.
Yeah,
he wasn't. He was in his 80s, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was probably 84, but we can do a fact check.
Yeah.
Jamie, were you on that? Yeah, I got it.
I would like the first person that came to mind when you said that, like who's been playing the longest, like honestly, it was like people like Dolly Parton in this kind of like lane of music that I don't really dive into a whole lot, but like seems like she's never gonna stop. I don't know. But that was just the first person that came to mind. But does anyone else come to your mind that has played for just forever?
I mean, maybe somebody from the Rolling Stones.
Oh, yeah,
how many of them are alive?
Mick Jagger.
Yeah, Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not more shows. Like not even close to the amount of shows.
Shows, I think.
No.
He was 78, by the way.
78. So he wasn't in his 80s, but still from 16 to 78 or 17 to 78. I mean, that's fucking over 60 years of playing live music, man. That is so insane. I will say I was shocked at like Trey and I, we had a debate a while back about how I wanted to like start listening to more Dead because so much of their stuff is on Spotify, but I just find myself listening to Dead & Co. because I find the quality of the live recording so much better. And Trey was like, that's not true. And when I went into listening to the studio album, I was like 1972, like hopefully the quality is good. And I think it's great. I think the production is great. I think the recording is great. It all sounds really good, which is super nice. But like you said, Anthony, I don't spend any time listening to like records, like Grateful Dead records. Like I know Working Man's Dead, I know American Beauty, and I've listened to them. Working Man's Dead is really interesting to me. Like it's not a favorite, but I just think the type of music on there is super interesting. But I always listen to live sets from Dead, whether it's Dead and Co or Grateful Dead. It's like I never listened to studio albums, so it was a really interesting. I don't know. It was really interesting to listen to playing in the band in like a studio setting, because I don't think like you ever heard it in a studio setting, basically. So I thought it was really cool.
I also didn't realize all of these were Bob songs.
I know that was shocking to me.
I knew Playing the Band was. I knew Looks Like Rain was, and we'll get to that song when we get there. And Greatest Story Ever Told. But other than that, I didn't know Cassie was a Bob song. I didn't know that. I didn't know One More Saturday Night was a Bob song. I didn't know Mexicali Blues was a Bob song. So that was kind of a cool discovery for me when I listened to this a few weeks ago.
Yeah, same. So the album starts with Greatest Story Ever Told. One of the most played album or most played song on this album, which is shocking. A little over 3.5 minutes, written by Bob Weir, Mickey Hart, Robert Hunter. Which Anthony, you talked a little bit about Robert Hunter and Jerry's relationship, but I think it's cool he's got writing credits on here. And shout out Mickey Hart too. Little love for Mickey Hart. But yeah, this song to me, like I had it as one of my top tracks because it to me, like when I first listened to it, just like I said, it felt like a Grateful Dead song. It just launched me right into, okay, this is going to be very similar to a Grateful Dead album. And I just love the energy. I love there's little guitar licks throughout here that Bob is playing. Which I think is really cool, and I just love the vibe of this song. And kind of, we talk a lot about great intro tracks. I think this is a perfect intro track in my mind. How you guys feel about it?
I would agree. It kind of brings that energy of a live show. I never saw the Dead, so I can't say the energy of a Dead show with a bunch of confidence. But like the kind of the crowd noise at the beginning, and then it launches into just like dun it, like it's very reminiscent of a live song or like a live recording.
Right. And the rhythm of the song is very interesting. Like you can break down a lot of Grateful Dead tracks into kind of some subcategories, a little rockabilly, a little blues, a ballad, kind of like I don't know how to describe it, but this song has its own kind of vibe, and I really, really enjoy it. And to me, this album plays like a Dead set. Like, I mean, that's how you want to kick it off. Kick it off with some energy, go into where you're going to go, build it back up, bring a ballad, and then end it with a couple punches, So I really love how this album's kind of put together because it does feel like a live show. And like none of us have ever seen the Grateful Dead live. I mean, I might have been the only one alive when Jerry passed, and I was one or not even one, right? So, but the energy of the shows.
Why weren't you at the shows, bro?
Yeah, you should have been at those shows, man.
But but the energy does translate in the recordings. Like that is something that probably really spearheaded me into like recording a lot of shit. Was that like if you're able to re-listen to music and be transported to a time of the past, like that is magic. And I think that is something that the Grateful Dead community was very aware of, was that like we're going to preserve this, but also we're going to share it around and be able to just kind of live in this moment forever if ever you want to go back to it. So we've all been to a Dead show, in a sense.
I thought Trey hadn't been to a Dead & Co show. Did you end up going to one, Trey?
I never saw Dead & Co. I saw Film Friends one time, but I've never seen Dead & Co. I never saw Bob Weir live. Yeah. I will regret that probably. I know. And what's weird is like 6 or 7 years ago, I remember consciously having the thought, like, I need to go see these guys because like they're going to start dying. Like eventually this is going to happen. And now we're here and I didn't do anything about it, but I saw plenty of pre-light shows in the meantime. So, it's what counts, I guess.
If it makes you feel any better, I know for a fact. I mean, I do have some time, but I know that's how I'm going to be about Fish because I haven't made enough of an effort to see Fish. And when it's over, I'm going to be like, damn. I mean, at least I have seen him, but I know I'm going to be like, should have seen more. Should have fucking seen more.
That's another band that may like get close to, show count potentially. I don't know how long they went on hiatus or whatever, but like they're playing and they don't show any signs of stopping, I don't think.
Yeah, but
Very
Trey only
true.
stopped for like, I mean, they all only really stopped like from solo stuff for a handful of years.
Yeah.
As soon
Yeah.
as Trey got out of rehab, drug court, whatever, he started playing again pretty much. First show back,
Shout
fun
out,
fact.
Trey.
I don't know if they were getting a little sidetracked, but first show back was with the Dave Matthews Band.
I did know that. I did know
Trey
that
was
actually.
Trey was in drug court, and Dave Matthews was like, "Hey, you want to come like pop on?" He left drug court, played the show, went back to drug court.
Yeah, that's sick as fuck. They had to test his hair and shit afterwards,
yeah,
make sure he wasn't
yeah.
doing
I
any
just
drugs.
read that
Yeah.
story. Where did that just recently come
He
out?
said it.
Just
He said it
talked
on a
about it.
podcast
Okay.
recently. Yeah.
It was a recent interview.
Trey, if you want to talk about more stuff on the podcast, let us know. I think we could slot you in.
Yeah.
We might be able to
Yeah,
make that
we'll
work.
do it tray by tray. It'll just be me and you,
Yeah.
not these other guys.
Oh, okay. Word. Fuck yeah. Okay, song 2, Black Throated Wind. I don't know if that's a sexual innuendo. I'm gonna take it as one. Written by Bob
I knew
Weir
you were
and
too.
and John Perry Barlow. To me, I called this a saloon song. That's the vibe I got from the intro of the song. You walk into the saloon, you order a beer and a whiskey and a cigar and a bath and a haircut and a wife to sleep with and
Everything's
a
going
room
on
and,
in saloons, man.
and then you throw down a thick
Yeah.
coin on the
It's the
on
Walmart
the
of saloons.
yeah, you throw down a thick coin on the countertop, and this song is playing in the background. So I didn't have it in my top tracks, but I did love the piano in this song. And I just loved the saloon vibe. It's like a nice, slow kind of. It feels like you're riding a horse, tying back to the saloon theme. Feels like you're kind of riding a horse slowly through town. That's what I got from
have a
this.
similar vibe, but it's a little different. This song reminds me of New Orleans. It kind of has that like the horn section, almost like a big band horn section, and then that little like guitar lick that's very like it's almost like stoner in its quality. Like it's so lazy. It's like da da. Like I guess I'm having to play this next note. And then there's some really really beautiful lyrics in the song. There's this one passage that's, but I can't deny, oh, times have gone by, and I never had doubts or thoughts of regret. And I was a man when all this began, who wouldn't think twice about being there yet? Which, just with the passage of time and things of that nature being kind of prevalent, looking at someone's passing, I thought that was like kind of cool that's recorded on wax, as you would say.
Yeah.
They do say that.
They'd be saying that.
Now, Black Throated Wind to me doesn't give me sexual vibes. It gives me Native American vibes. Like that's how I think Bob thinks, or John Perry Barlow, or who wrote? Yeah, John Barlow wrote this one. So it's like there's this Americana feel to it, and I like it. It wasn't one of my top tracks either, but again, yeah, you're right. It kind of does that thing where it kind of builds up and falls right off. It's build it up and then sing it out. So beautiful song, just not one of my favorites. Now, while we're going through this album, I'm just gonna give y'all a little hint. I'm looking at this book. There's this book called The Complete Annotated Grateful Dead Lyrics, and it's pretty thick, but it's super fun to just go into. It's not like this song means this or this song means that. It kind of pulls references and then expounds upon it a little bit, but it's just a fun kind of companion piece when you're diving into these guys. So if you hear pages flipping, that's what's going on over here.
So you got a cheat sheet, is what you're telling us.
A cheap book.
Yeah,
I bought
you
it.
got the study
Yeah,
guide,
right? No,
Uh-huh.
no. Actually, I've had it for a while. I don't know when, but yeah, we're cheating a little bit. But I want to go off the feel of these songs.
Fair.
I feel that. Track 3, Walk in the Sunshine. I had this as another top track for me, another Barlow song. Some interesting themes in this song for sure, but I wanted to point out some lyrics. There's a moment towards the end where he says, I ain't burning, Lord. I'm still only learning how to become a man of my own. I ain't crazy, nor am I lazy. I just want to find out what's right and what's wrong. I ain't burning. Whole world keeps on turning. I'm still trying to figure out what's right and what's wrong. And I think that's I love those lyrics so much and fits so well with like what I imagine a young Bob Weir was like writing this album, being in the Dead, young still at the time and traveling the world and seeing everything that he saw, doing everything that he did, and still somewhere in there trying to figure out what's right and what's wrong. And I don't know, I just really poignant and I really, really liked it. I really love the song as a whole. And again, very, there's so many subtle. First off, the piano in this album is really heavy, which I like. I love the piano in this track, but there's these like little subtle just guitar licks that he's throwing in these songs, and you can hear him in this song in particular, but it's like little 3-note, just high pitched kind of quick jams he's throwing in there that just, they're like little accents, little sprinkles that he's throwing on top of the cake after it finishes baking and that icing is melted real nice, so the sprinkles stick. So I really like that.
Very visual today.
Yeah, right.
We haven't even really talked about Bob's like his unique playing style as a rhythm guitar player, right? Like where he would, like you were talking about earlier, like he would take command of the band, and that's kind of how he did it. Is he would throw in little like phrases that would make the others in the band like kind of perk up, and be like, "Ooh, what is that?" And then they would kind of all, just like everything that the Dead would do, they'd all play off of those things. But like Bob was, rhythm guitar player doesn't typically play like that. They're just gonna play it straight, and he never really did that. So it's kind of cool that you called that out in the studio as well.
Fuck yeah.
And like you also mentioned the keys, the piano that's playing, and like that was that's Keith Godshaw at this moment in time, right? And that's like, for me, the mythos of the Grateful Dead really has been surrounded by this tragic endings to their keyboard players over time. I think they've had 4 or 5 keyboard players pass away, tragically. But like when you're listening to live sets, that is kind of a little clue. Even if you didn't know like what year it was, if you're hearing them play, or if you're hearing Brent Midland sing, that guy's fucking awesome at singing. Like that's another just ghost of the Grateful Dead. That's just a wild human. But it's beautiful, and putting this in a studio is it's like a departure from what they do. Mickey mentioned this in the eulogy for Bob. It's like, when we got in the studio, it was not as easy as it is on stage, because now we're feeding off of each other. We're feeding off the crowd. We're able to do this. We're not having to go in individually and kind of record parts or anything like that. So, I mean, just the fact that they were able to do this and everyone was involved in it too, just so fucking cool. Because, yeah, you could easily call this a Grateful Dead album and no one's going to argue. I mean, how can you?
Mm-hmm.
True. Very sick. Track 4, Playing in the Band, Weir, Hart, and Robert Hunter. And this is my top song. Is that too cliche? Does anybody else have it in their top?
No. Not in my top, but I love this song. It's a great
man.
song.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the longest song on this album. This is when it really feels like the Dead get in their flow. This is like a jam song right here.
They do have like a nice recorded jam in like the second third of this. The thing about playing the band though, man, like it's kind of like riding a jet ski. Like you're gonna smile.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it's
so true.
No one's sad on a jet ski, as Daniel Tosh once said. No one's sad listening to the song. Like you're just
so true. So true.
In the band.
And
it's great.
What a creative thing for them to name their Mexico shows Playing in the Sand. That was cool. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
Good marketing technique there.
Yeah, well done.
And Donna Jean's always a staple on this song too, or at least when she was performing it, of just throwing her voice. And I love it personally, but does that bother you guys? Are y'all cool with her just letting it ride?
I don't love it. I think it sounds pretty terrible. Yeah, I think it doesn't sound great.
Pretty terrible.
But what I will say is, in a more live setting, that type of emotion being like kind of let go, almost like a stuck pig being howling.
Oh my God.
Which is kind of what it sounds like to me.
Jesus Christ.
That probably comes through a little bit more and is like very exciting rather than it sounding terrible on a recording.
Okay.
I do recognize that, but I think it sounds pretty objectively bad.
Well, so if you had to pick, Trey, you have one choice of a female vocalist and you only have 2 options. You have Donna Jean Godshaw or Yoko Ono. Who are you going with, Trey?
I don't know enough about Yoko's voice.
Oh, you don't need to know anything. You should look up. There's a live. I don't know if it's a Tonight Show or some talk show.
I've seen this.
Just look that up. I wish we could put it right in right now. But yeah, look that up and then get back to us on that one. But
He's playing with like Chuck Berry, isn't he, or somebody like that?
Or it's John. I don't know if he's on stage with her.
But John's on stage with Yoko, and they're playing with like Chuck Berry or somebody.
Takes over,
and she's like screaming in the background. And they cut her mic off.
Yeah, a maniac. But
that's pretty terrible.
I'll answer for you, Trey. Just go with John and Gene. Go John and Gene.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Right, I will.
Okay. First, go ahead, Trey.
No. Go ahead.
First track of side 2, Looks Like Rain, track number 5, Weir and Barlow on this one. This one I had kind of towards I don't dislike it. It's kind of towards my bottom. It's slower. It's a little depressing for me, but still a beautiful song nonetheless. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
This is my favorite song on the record.
Fuck it out.
Me too.
Yeah, when I think of a Bob Weir song, I think of Looks Like Rain. I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. The idea of, like loving someone unconditionally, and just like kind of the way that him and Barlow are able to kind of synthesize that feeling is gorgeous. And it was kind of like the song that Bob would play, like if he was going to come and like, I think he played it with Fish a couple of times. I can probably pull that. But yeah, this song I actually made in my little lyric book, right when I listened to this album for the first time. It was a major reason of why I like recommended us listening to it. So yeah,
Which line? Did you pick a line, or did you put the whole song in your?
I did. While you're talking about why you like it, I can.
So so like Trey said, this is an emotionally like overwhelming song to me, and it's because of when I would hear it. Like I would hear it in crucial points of a dead set, like when they're bringing it down or after Space, pulling it back in, like this is the song that's just powerful as hell. And the way he sings it, the way he sings it over time is always super powerful. Now, this recording, to me personally, doesn't do this song as much as I know this song deserves and has received over time, but that's just because of the format. For me, this song is the one that I hear in my head and repeat to myself and just find myself getting lost into it with no music playing. So this one totally is my number one track for sure. And I never looked, but I had always thought, I wonder if there's a Looks Like Rain studio version out there. I just never dug into it. And when you sent this to me, Trey, I was like, there's a Bob Weir album. There's Looks Like Rain right here. Beautiful. Let's go in. So hell yeah.
That's pretty cool.
What line did you get?
Yeah, I wrote, but I'll still sing you love songs written in the letters of your name and brave the storm to come, for it surely looks like rain. Yeah.
He's really belting in this song too. He really gets the vocals going, which is nice to hear for sure.
With Trey reading that, but I will listen to the Europe 72 album. The version on that is the one that may make you cry in the right headspace. Super, super powerful.
I feel that. Track 6.
It's okay to be emotional, man. It's okay to be
I'm a stone wall. I don't feel any emotions. Just like my poppy and his poppy before him.
Right, and everything worked out just fine for them. Thank you very much.
Okay, 6th song, Mexicali Blues, Weir and Barlow. This is a bad song. I have to say it. This is the one song what is this, man? What is this Wiggles ass Mexican music? I don't understand this. I don't like it.
Yeah,
it's a bad song.
It's a skip. It's a skip for me.
It's a skip.
Oh, that's funny. I thought you said skit for a second, and I was like, that's kind of how I treat it.
It is kind of a skit too.
It's kind of like a comical, just like light, high energy kind of just segment of a Grateful Dead set, but like I feel the same way. It's never been a song that resonated with me a whole lot. It's just what it is. I don't hate it, but like if you ask me, you want to listen to another song? Yeah, change it. Let's see what's going on.
The only reason it's kind of cool, and there's another couple songs they used to play live that I'm just like blanking on right now that are kind of draw from this like Southwest, like Mexican or Mexican influence, El Paso. Yeah, thank you. Like it's kind of part of the the big thing about the Dead obviously is that they touched every genre of American music. At the time, they never really played much hip hop, but Jerry would have loved hip hop, even though he said
he would have. He absolutely would have.
Jerry, you would have loved the Carter 4. But it is kind of cool that they play this genre, but it is not enjoyable for me in this setting.
Yeah. That's fair.
Uh-huh.
Okay, track 7, the only Bob Weir only song on the album. So he wrote it entirely himself. One More Saturday Night, another banger of a Grateful Dead staple that is played at many shows. Always a fucking bop. Everybody's always ready to party. This is honorable mention for me. So upbeat. This is jamming time, baby. This is pre-show. This is post-show if you're in the right mood. This is during show. This is the way to go. What do you guys think? Yay or
Absolutely.
nay?
Oh, yeah.
This is the Rager
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
Throw your beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's like throw your beer as soon as you hear that first lick. That yeah, everyone's like, we're
Yeah.
in now,
Yep.
you know, and like that's the sign of just an iconic song. You play the first 3 notes and like, oh hell yeah, we all know what we're in for, you know. And great
Yep.
song, great song.
And those high keys throughout, man. The high keys keeping the beat, keeping you bobbing your head. So I'm telling you, the keys are the part of this album that are really tying it all together. You know.
Now,
Mhm.
can I ask y'all something? So, if this is one of your favorite, well, do y'all have any problem with this song being played on any night besides Saturday night? Like, does it affect you if it's played on a Friday night or a Sunday night?
I feel like it should only be played on a Saturday night.
I think it.
The
Yeah.
problem is then you're limiting how often this can be played. Like, what if you go on tour and you can only catch the Tuesday and Wednesday
That's what I'm
shows?
saying.
It's like then I
Yeah.
never get to
I
hear
don't
it.
know, but then
No, it needs to only be played on Saturday nights. That makes it more special. I don't know if that's something they did or didn't, but like,
I know, but
you know,
I bet somebody
yeah,
knows.
well, it's like, but it
it'd
is
be like if Pretty Lights played his No Rain remix when it wasn't raining. Like that doesn't make any sense. You know,
I mean, but it's not as blatant as like, well, today's not even Saturday, you know, like, but so like you can have
Yeah.
kind of both ways, I guess.
to
but, yeah.
me, I feel like it could be played. Hear me out. It could be played on a Sunday because it's almost like saying we're getting one more Saturday night out of this. It's not Sunday
fair.
night tonight.
I like that.
It's
I
still
like
Saturday
that.
night,
Yeah,
so we're
yeah.
getting one
Or-
more. So I think it could be played Sunday
What
too.
if you just like look at every night as Saturday night? Like tonight's just another Saturday night, even though no.
Not
Trey
for me.
Kinda
saying
like
that
just
you
what he
stretching
said.
it too far with that
Kinda
one.
just like what Blake
Stretching
said,
it.
except for just any day.
It's
know?
yeah, but it's like because it just happened, so we're gonna get one more. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
we're gonna
you-
stretch this out and get
You
one
can't
more
get
out of it.
one more on a Wednesday because that Saturday hasn't happened yet. Are you talking about the Saturday
Right.
from 3 days ago? Then you're kind of messing with your weekly timeline, and
Yeah,
that's just
true.
Not, that's
I'm
not
saying, if you
healthy.
treat every day like Saturday, it's a good kind of mindset, I think.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
I mean,
You might not
that's how
get shit
addiction
done,
starts, but yeah.
I'm drinking 10 beers tonight. It's Saturday.
every
It's
day
fucking
is
Maybe
Saturday.
it's
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Nah, it's Saturday. Every day's Saturday.
It's Saturday somewhere, I guess. I don't know.
Anthony told me to.
Anthony said so. Okay, last song on the album, the closer, track 8, Cassidy, a Bob Weir staple. This is what, this is a Weir and Barlow song, but this is kind of how I feel about how you guys feel about Looks Like Rain. Love this song, another honorable mention for me, but very good closing track. It opened the album and closed the album perfectly. What do you guys think about it?
Absolutely incredible closer. His voice sounds so great in this. Like the way that it's almost like it's in a can, like it's like distanced out or something. The effect is lovely, especially like that makes it like a stark contrast to, like live settings. And just, what a classic song. Another song that puts a smile on your face.
Very true.
No, and like, do y'all know like about Neil Cassidy, who the song is written about?
Yeah, of
Bus
course.
Driver, Merry
Yep.
Pranksters, and all. Just a character, just another folklore legend in the Grateful Dead, and I think Bob does a beautiful job of just encapsulating his spirit in song, and the energy of him in the song too. So yeah, this was like besides Looks Like Rain, this is another one that I'm like, I will always listen to this if given the chance, so yeah, it's a beautiful song. And like for me, One More Saturday Night is like the big closer, and then this is like the real encore, of this album. So yeah, beautiful way to end it. Couldn't ask for it to end any better.
Agreed.
Also the quality of this recording, this could be dropped today.
Yeah,
Like
I
it
agree.
really does.
It does sound really good.
Super clean.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like that's what I said. It was very shocking, honestly, how good it sounded. But I mean, obviously, music, technology, streaming, it's come a really long way, so that makes sense. But like, I don't know, it does sound really good. You're right.
All right,
Okay,
so
there
now
was
we're
no.
going to get into the second for the 50th anniversary edition. We're going to go over all the live versions as well. Y'all did that, right?
I did. I didn't even know there. I didn't even know there was one. Yeah, I know. I would have fucking listened to that. Wait, how is? Is it?
On
Is there really
Spotify?
one? I didn't see it.
Yeah, there's a Ace 50th anniversary deluxe edition.
Oh yeah,
And then it
there
just has the
is.
exact same album, but it's I think these
Say
are
when the
solo
sets are-
shows.
or the song.
You should listen
Greatest
to it,
story ever told, featuring Tyler Childers. What
Kylie
the fuck?
Childers. Yeah, it's Bob Weir and Wolf Bros for the most part.
Damn,
all
I didn't
that.
know this.
Yeah, check it out.
Keep that in the back pocket, 100%.
Yeah, I
One
love
hundo
the
P,
fact
as the
that,
kids
that
say.
he did so much with so many artists too. It was like he never seemed like entitled to anything. Like real humble, real like it's the music. It's about the music. And I think that's just another great thing about Bob Weir is that like he is just so humble and just so open to just let's see where it goes. He's an explorer.
Bob Weir is why I pirate all of my music and movies, because that was the lesson that he left us with. Pirate everything. Everything is for everybody. Don't purchase a single thing. And I agree. I agree with that sentiment.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely showed us that with it.
Yeah.
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 Sure.
Okay. There's no major reviews from any publication, so it's left to Totally Biased Music to set the standard. So
We are
out
a
of
major
10,
publication.
Trey, what do you rate it?
You know what? I'm gonna be very generous, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I think this is kind of a perfect rock and roll album. I think it has obviously a lot of historical weight right now with with everything going on with Bob's passing. Like the way that this album makes me feel in this current moment is a 10 out of 10. It's very enjoyable. I've probably re-listened to it like 5 or 6 times since we picked it. I listened to it in the gym today. Which was kind of had to change it to something a little heavier at some point. But,
Same. Same.
yeah, I was like, well, it was closer to Looks Like Rain. I was like,
Yeah.
I gotta move this
Different
around.
vibe.
But yeah, 10 out of 10 for me.
Hell yeah.
10 out of 10. You were shitting on Mexicali Blues pretty heavily, but we'll let it slide.
Yeah.
We'll let it slide.
I'd say
Anthony,
it's a
what do you got?
perfect thing.
Yeah, right. No, yeah. I mean, for me, this album is like the best representation of what a dead set is like without it being a dead set. So I mean that along with all the nostalgia like you're talking about with Bob Weir, and for me the discovery of like studio versions of these tracks, like I'd give it a 10 out of 10 also.
I give it a 9 out of 10.
Oh.
Simply, I know, I'm sorry to break the mold. I'm sorry, I can't drop a coveted 10 out of 10. As much as both Jerry Garcia and Bob Weir would have loved the Carter 4, we got to save 10s for things like those, So it's a 9.
You made it worse.
If Mexicali Blues wasn't on there, it would be a 10, 100%. But that song
Okay.
just derails the whole vibe, sets me out of it. So
Gotcha.
I was going to talk about this more off air, but how do we feel about the format? I really enjoyed that.
That was fun.
I liked it too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
dug
think
it for
I think
sure.
we can rock with it. I was just looking back at our
listeners.
at the Jerry Garcia ratings, and they're not. No one gave it. None of us gave it a 10 out of 10. But it was more experimental. There was a lot of weirdness in that album that I really liked too.
Right.
Yeah. I will say with the new format, people that are listening, look, the pods might start getting longer, and maybe we'll have to cut some segments or kind of mix things up. But like if to have a more cohesive format, you may have to sacrifice a little bit more of your day. You may have to pull into the house and sit in the garage and finish the episode before going inside. That's just
Commit,
how things
bitch.
roll sometimes. You got to commit. Okay, we are now going to go to Rides or Dies. And we had a real mixed bag this week. Trey, I want you to lead us off.
A lot of stuff going on this week.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So, if anyone reminds me of Bob Weir in today's music, it's Harry Styles. And and Harry Styles has booked a crazy ass tour. He's playing 30 nights at Madison Square Garden.
What? Hold on, just slow it down.
30. 30. So he holds
That's crazy.
Bro
in the
thinks he's
span-
fish.
I mean,
in the span of 2 months. So he actually holds the record for most consecutive nights before. He beat Fish and Billy Joel. But I brought this song Aperture by Harry Styles. He's kind of like on his, I guess, not necessarily a comeback, but like his next project. I absolutely love his first album. I think it's fantastic. I think it's everything that a pop record's supposed to be. I don't know if I've ever brought it to the pod, but I definitely would. It's called, is it called Fine Line? Yeah, Fine Line is the name of the album. But I brought Aperture. I really like this song. I think it's got a really catchy little bass line. I was curious to see what y'all would think about it. I'm not anticipating positive reviews because I feel like you just saw the name and whatever. But to me, it kind of almost sounds like an Animal Collective song from like a decade ago. So, what'd you think about Aperture by Harry Styles?
I will say I was romantically involved slightly with a woman that was very into Harry Styles. I'm not going to go into all that, but have a little bit of weird memories when it comes to him. And despite that, I will say this song rides, and Harry Styles rides, and he deserves the respect. I think he's a good artist. I think he can diversify very well. He's obviously very popular. I think he's a good musician, and I don't think coming from a boy band should discredit that. So this is a rides, and it was a good pick. It was just shocking for me from Trey, but that doesn't change the fact that it does indeed ride. So
okay.
Anthony,
I'm shocked. So what boy band was? I don't know shit about Harry Styles. This was the first Harry Styles song I think I've ever heard knowingly. I mean,
he was from One Direction.
Oh, he's from One Direction. He was like the number one. He was the Justin Timberlake of One Direction.
Okay. Well, and I know he's like a big artist. I mean, like I just when you pulled this up on Spotify, he has like 4 billion plays on tracks, like billions in multiple tracks on his thing. So this was interesting to me, and that's not in a negative way. It's just different, and it's also wasn't what I was expecting either. Does he produce the music too, or
I highly doubt it?
Because I would say the production is something that I could see. If going in certain different directions, I could get on board with it. This song dies for me, but I'm not closing the door on Harry Styles. But it's cracked. That's all I'll say is it's cracked. You know, maybe right. We'll see. But I'm glad you brought it. Like I said, I don't know if you ask me what kind of music he plays. I have no idea. So, but this is like a departure. Would you say? From traditional Harry Styles?
It's a little more lo-fi and a little more stripped down, I think, than like what I'm familiar with. I'm not like a aficionado by any means, but yeah.
Okay.
His album will be released on March 6th. It's called Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally.
And when does he start this run?
So we'll see.
At Madison Square Garden?
In the summer sometime, I think.
That's wild to me. I mean, like, y'all know folks who like
he sold them all out. They sold out today.
Well, so okay, on that, like, do you think people are going to multiple nights or making a trip up to New York to go see him one night?
I think they're doing multiple nights, 100%.
I think probably most people are doing individual nights, but some people will do multiple nights.
He's got some diehard fans. He's got some very
crazy
diehard.
But how
fans.
much diversity can he bring night after night after night? That's what I'm curious about.
Probably not.
Right.
He'll probably have a pretty similar show. Which, I mean, like, that's not all bands are Fish, you know. They're not all going to play 13 shows with no repeats. Like, they don't, you know, they ain't got that bad.
I mean, but 13 shows of all repeats, that's a different conversation. You know what I mean? So
I don't think it'll be that. I think he'll mix it up.
It's a residency.
Yeah, I think maybe. If he plays 4 song sets every night, then I think he'll be fine. Then he won't repeat a single one. He just has to play only 4 songs.
Okay. All right.
So I brought a song, and a long time ago, 7 years ago, MGK was a rapper. He was a hip hop artist, and he put out multiple mixtapes prior to his studio album coming out, Lace Up. It was his first studio album. And the reason I brought this song is Demons featuring DMX. I brought it because I've thought that my next revisiting article is going to be Lace Up, because I don't think Lace Up has aged particularly well. And I wanted to do an album that I didn't want to do another 10 out of 10. I wanted to do something that was a little, more middle of the road, kind of share my opinions on that, because I used to be a huge MGK fan. I loved Lace Up when it came out. Trey knows this. And there's still some songs that are really, really good on it. I think it has aged poorly. I will say, though, the DMX feature goes hard as fuck in this song. And I thought him and MGK surprisingly bounced off each other really well. It's super dark. It's really weird. It's kind of scary. But I enjoyed it. So I was listening to the album and thought I'd bring it because it's been in the rotation recently. So Anthony, what'd you think?
So I was interested once I saw DMX on the artist line, right? I know MGK, but never was a huge like I gotta listen to the stuff he put out. This album never came across my radar, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like I don't like what MGK is saying. I just like how he's saying it. Does that make sense? Like this is a dark hip hop song,
yeah.
right? And the way he rhymes and raps, it has that dark kind of syringe like feel to it. I don't know how else to describe it, but like it does what it needs to do. And then DMX, all he has to do is say, and then like he's in. But like he has a good chorus or a good verse in this song too. So yeah, I liked it, and I listened to the one right after it, which was like featuring Twista and Tech Nine, and those rappers are on my radar. So I was like, all right. So yeah, I was delightfully surprised with this. So it'll be
nice.
That's good.
Right,
Trey.
You really took me down memory lane here. And listen, I pull this card a lot, but I'm the one who showed you Machine Gun Kelly.
I do not know about that.
I know that for a fact because I showed you the song that he talks. No, hold on. I showed you the song where he talks about his like uncle like dying from a heroin overdose. It was on like one of those mixtapes, and I was obsessed with that
Lead
song.
You On.
Yes, Lead You On
is the song.
Exactly.
Great song.
And it was a great song. And I was obsessed with that song. I showed it to you, and I think I remember you not particularly caring for it. But then eventually, you really got on the lace up grind. You even went down to a show. I remembered this when I was listening to this. You went down and saw him in Mobile one time, didn't you?
I did. Very early in his career. Yeah.
Is there any reason for me to keep that memory in my brain? Absolutely not.
Except for remembering that he
I wasn't with you. It's not something we did together. I just know that you did.
Yeah.
But it was nice and nostalgic. The DMX features is funny to me. I don't know, it's fine, but MGK's voice it has not aged well. Like, I guess I just don't think positively when I hear it, but I still enjoyed listening back to this. And really more than anything, I enjoyed just like seeing the artwork. It was a nostalgia piece. So for that reason, it rides.
When did this album come out?
I'm very curious to hear you read an article where you go back, because it's like a lot of different pulls for you there, right? Like you have the nostalgia factor, and then you have like kind of your realistic factor of like, this isn't good, So
it was interesting, like thinking about it as it came through. I think it came out. So I was in high school. Would have been 2012, maybe. I think it was either 2011, 2012, I think.
So I want to say that he had like another mixtape called Lace Up.
He had the Lace Up mixtape first.
Right.
And then there's some songs from the Lace Up mixtape on Lace Up the album.
Mm-hmm. And Lace Up the mixtape is what I had downloaded off of the collection. That came out in November 2010.
Shout out the collection.
So, so then the album must have came out around 2011. 2012, something like that. It was really a battle for MGK to get that studio album released, which I think is why some of those songs are repeated. That's a whole nother story for a different time. But anyway, Anthony, what'd you bring?
All right, so I brought this track. It's by this British electronic duo called Lemon Jelly. I had never heard of them before last week, and they had come across just one of the Spotify playlists that they curate for me, and this track's called The Staunton Lick. And when I heard it for the first time, I was instantly hooked. But then I started to recognize where this song kind of pulls from, So I really enjoyed it. I want to get y'all's take on it, and then also see if y'all caught what this song is kind of sampling and referencing. But yeah, Trey, what'd you think?
Did not catch whatever it might be sampling or anything of that nature. Did think at first you sent us a Jelly Roll song.
I also thought that.
Did you?
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, oh, Jelly Roll. This is interesting. And then I was like, no, Lemon Jelly Roll, which sounds delicious, like a nice nighttime snack. So here's the first half of the song. I thought it was great. Really enjoyed it. Like I was like, this rides, and then it just didn't change for another like 2.5 minutes, and it kind of wore on me. And for that reason, it does die. But like if you just cut it just didn't really change much at all. So it just kind of just went on too long with that same beat loop, and then just like kind of little flutters here and there. So wasn't a fan of the whole track, but was a fan of the general sounds in it. So I would listen to Lemon Jelly more if they have shorter tracks.
Okay.
That is so funny because that was literally my exact thought. I was like, holy shit, we're still doing this. Like, wrap it up. And that was why it was a dies for me, because it was just so repetitive for so long. Like, I needed something to change, and it just wasn't happening. So I had to give it a dies.
Okay, well, let me.
But at first I was like, where did he find this? Like, this is cool. And then it's just like,
So
I'm still doing this.
I found, this is just me personally, if I'm listening to something like this, expecting something, then I get let down, right? But if I get lost in a track like this, it carries me wherever we're going, and it's like, that's what I mean. I don't know, I don't like house music. I assume that's what it does for people, is it's like a backbeat that you can kind of get along with, and then there are textures kind of throw out. It's minorly progressive, but this song, listen to this first, and then listen to Midnight Rider, and it's it's the whole song doing that, and like for me, in my head, I'm listening to the Staunton lick going, oh my gosh, I want to just go back and forth between that and Midnight Rider, and it's a seamless kind of transition. But yeah, this song just came on my radar, and I was like, never heard of this. Very interesting to me. Let's see what the guys think. So, Blake, for the record, what did you give it? Did you give it a dies?
Dies. Yeah.
You're becoming a DJ, brother. That's if you're just thinking in forms of how you can transition in and out of different
things. It's like that for a long time, and that's when I bring songs to people. I'm very conscious of or self-conscious, are they hearing what I'm hearing, and am I hearing what is even actually being played? Because I don't think that's the case anymore. I think honestly, my brain's kind of doing things subconsciously, but I enjoy that. I prefer that. So, yeah.
Nice.
Okay, before we get into the movie, we have some ass or gas candidates, and I need Trey to go first and explain where this came from and what the fuck is going on here.
Dude, literally, I was just driving and I was like, we haven't given any ass or gas
candidates.
Topics. Yeah, candidates. And I was about to go through a roundabout, and I was like, I wonder what Blake thinks about roundabouts. That was it. That was the beginning, middle, and end of that.
Okay, this one. So I'm just gonna do this real quick. Roundabouts. I have no opinion on this matter.
Oh, interesting. Okay, hold on. Leave that picture up.
There's so much.
Okay.
Hold on. Yeah, they're so much more efficient than stop signs or stoplights.
That is accurate, and I encounter them occasionally, and I've never been in one and been like, this is fucking stupid, I hate this. And I've never been in one and been like, wow, I'm so proud of how efficiently this is operating right now. Like, I just don't think about it. I've been in
the latter camp there where I'm like, this is really cool. This is awesome.
Okay,
good to know.
Let me say, so I have two experiences, multiple. I have a lot of experience with roundabouts because they're popping up in all these neighborhoods around, the maybe upper class of Birmingham now. And as I'm doing lessons, I kind of find myself getting caught in these a few times. But roundabouts are great if you're surrounded by decent drivers, or better we say good drivers, right? If you're around shitty drivers, I don't trust a soul out there on the road. So I'm like, I will give people the right of way until I know I can go, right? Now, I like roundabouts, but my other experience with roundabouts was in Italy with my family. And my dad, or I don't even know if my dad was driving, it might have been my uncle. We rented a car in Italy, and I would not advise anyone who's not familiar with the driving in Italy to rent a car and try to navigate over there, because you get caught in a roundabout on the wrong side of the car trying to get out of it, and you may get stuck in that inner circle where you have no way out. So I could see how it could be shitty. So yeah, drivers beware.
That is fair.
It's a roundabout.
There we go. Very interesting topic, Trey. I like it.
Thanks. Yeah.
Anthony, give us your candidate.
My candidate was lava lamps. So I'm a huge fan of lava lamps. I have a handful, and even as recently as yesterday, I cleaned one of my lava lamps. It was like foggy on the inside, and you couldn't really see the lava from the water as well, or from the solution as well. So I got this nifty little. It's like a water purifier kind of straw thing. All you have to do is pour all of your liquid from the lava lamp into like a 2 liter. Screw that thing on the top and put it on top of the lava lamp, and it'll start dripping out clear solution. So like yesterday, I guess I kind of re-energized my lava lamp. So that was on the brain. So what do y'all think? Do y'all own a lava lamp?
Not anymore, but I used to. And then I think the lamp part of it broke, not the lava. And so then it wouldn't work anymore. So I think I had to throw it away. But I loved my lava lamp. Okay. And I love lava lamps in general, conceptually. Nice. Blake?
I think that, like, I haven't seen a lava lamp in so long, I forgot they fucking existed. So this, like, setting this to me was, like, such a shock and such a, like, trip down memory lane. And, like, my room, like, this recording entertainment room that I'm in is, like, this is like when you were like 14 and you went to your friend's house and their older brother that like worked at Papa John's and like smoked a shit ton of weed. Like this is that room. There's like fish and dead posters everywhere and lights strung up. And like, I have a little table next to my sim rig that would be perfect for a fucking lava lamp. Like, it brought it back, and I was like, I need to find one of these things and put it in my room, and I need to start smoking weed again inside. Yes. And for that, lava lamps are gas or hot magma, whatever it is.
This picture though is ass because none of those lava lamps are going
they're
yet.
Not. They're not
in their stages of getting ready to start doing their thing. But they're
warming up.
That might be the dumbest one of these segments or any given segment that we've ever had, but fantastic.
Hey, Blake's gonna get himself a lava lamp, I guess. We'll see.
I'm getting a fucking lava lamp, man. I'm so excited for it. I can already picture it. It's gonna look so great. I will send a picture once it is up.
I'll send y'all a picture of my room setup because I've got 4 in there now, and I'm proud of all 4 of them. So yeah, I'll send you a picture.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
All right, so movie. It was my pick. It was a movie Blake has never seen, and Anthony has been pushing us, begging us, edging us towards watching 28 Years Later, and so I finally picked 28 Years Later. It is on Netflix if you haven't seen it. So I finally watched it. I have not watched any of the other 28 Years. This was my first one. Okay. Not Bone Temple yet. And yeah, I don't... This... I can't tell... I really liked the back half of it. I really liked the back half of the movie. I do not love the filming style of it. I know they did it on iPhones, which is like a nod to how they first recorded, which I think in premise is super sick. I think the transitioning of like during the kills, like the camera swerving and transitioning is really jarring to me. And also like this movie's pretty fucking disturbing, which made me pretty uncomfortable at times, which I know is the point. It is like a horror movie, right? But like, it was almost like too much for me at times. But then, and I felt like it was really disjointed and weird. But then when it got in the flow, like when the son and the mom left, I felt like that was kind of its own separate movie. Like that's when it really kind of hit a stride for me. And I liked that from that point forward. I really enjoyed and was more invested in. Jury is still out on Danny Boyle and Alex Garland as a duo. But I don't dislike it, but I don't love it. Those are my impressions thus far. Is that kind of on board with what you thought, or did you think I was really going to like it?
I mean, I'm kind of hoping that you're really going to like it, but I also know that there are points in this movie that are super heavy, like real heavy, you know? And like for me, like that's what I love about these types of movies is that yes, it's a zombie movie, but the emotions that everyone's experiencing, from Spike to his dad to his mom to, you know, Ray Fiennes, who's in there too. So I want to let Trey talk before I do anything else. So Trey, what were your thoughts?
I think the points that this movie like shined through are kind of more so those like human, like emotional parts, and like for that reason I liked it a lot. Like when the mom and the son left, like when they make it through that gate and they're doing like the cut scene between like the party for them making it through the gate and then like actually trying to make it through the gate. I thought that scene was really well done. I liked the kill scene, like I don't even know what you call that. It's not stop motion, but like
okay.
I don't know, the cut stop glitch and then move on.
Yeah.
Especially like they're like the early ones that kind of grab you. For me, I was like, oh, like this is different. Like this isn't, it felt like almost like a 90s like it came like a heist movie type of like cutscene, you know what I mean, with like the way that the killings were, almost like a Oceans type of scene. I liked it. I mean, I wasn't like obsessed with it. This isn't quite my tempo. But if I'd have watched this a year ago, I would have been like, absolutely not. But now y'all have kind of brought me into this horror world, and I'm much more open to these movies, which isn't necessarily a positive thing. But I liked it. I kind of want to watch the first one. I'd like to go back and yeah.
I have a question, Anthony. Why do you think this is so? Why does it have such a cult-like following? Like, people are obsessed with these movies, and like when 28 Years was coming out, it was like the biggest deal for like movie heads that it was coming out. And like, what about it do you think draws people to that obsession with it? They have a very cult-like following.
Well,
like people really, really love these movies.
If you watch The Bone Temple, you may get like The Bone Temple has major cult vibes to it. That's all I really want to say about that movie. It's a direct sequel to this one, so the movie spills over, and we don't see like this movie ends with Jimmy, kind of Spike kind of is on his own, and him and Jimmy run into each other, and they kind of save him or something. Isn't that the very end of this movie?
Yeah, at the end. Yeah.
So it picks up right there for the next movie, and Jimmy's basically a cult leader. So there is a cult aspect to that movie, which is just, I guess, kind of ironic that there's a cult-like following to these films. But like for me, they're cathartic. All of them are. Even 28 Weeks Later, which is not even really like some people don't even consider that a part of this franchise. They really think 28 Days, 28 Years, and then The Bone Temple is the trilogy. So there are some interesting kind of facets to the series itself. But like for me, like it just hits a lot of different emotions that are super raw. I mean, the big scene in this movie for me was the scene where Spike and his mom is sick, and she knows what she needs to do. Ray Fiennes knows what he needs to do, but like, I mean, there's basically a euthanasia scene, and it's like there's peace in that, but also it's the hardest thing to watch go down in real time. So like there's this major conflict happening where it's like that's what needs to happen, but it's gonna happen right in front of you. There are also like angles to this movie in particular that kind of give you clues as to what's going on outside of this island. Like the world is back to normal outside of their space, which is so wild to kind of think of. They run into the I don't know what country he's from, but like the soldier that's in this one, right? Where they run into this.
He's from France, isn't he?
I could not tell you. I don't remember.
I think he's from France.
But he's like, what? You've never seen a phone before? And they're kind of like,
Yeah.
like, so there's kind of like moments where you snap into, oh shit, yeah, this kid has lived a whole different life than we could ever recognize, So you're kind of along the ride with Spike in this movie. It's kind of a coming of age beginning, father-son conflict where his dad's like pumping him up and the kid's like, that didn't really happen. It's like there's just all this inner kind of family turmoil in this movie that I find really interesting. And I also had no idea going into this movie that Ray Fiennes was in it. So like when he was in it, it was like, whoa, holy shit, what is his role in this? And like it was I love his character. He might be
I will say he's really great, and his role is really great. That character is really interesting. And I don't know. I think what happens is like I did this to myself. I like put the movie on a pedestal before I saw it because so many people are obsessed with it that I just expected it to be like the greatest fucking thing since sliced bread. And that was my mistake, which I shouldn't do. But I thought like maybe I think on a rewatch, now that I know kind of the vibe of the movie, I may like it more. But yeah, some of this stuff is like, and like it's a type of horror that reminds me a lot of ironically enough, Midsummer, in the sense that it just makes me uncomfortable. Like the scene where they're like first leaving and going to walk the bridge or whatever, and they're doing that chant over the top of it, or it's like a speech from like World War II or whatever, but it's getting increasingly louder and more jarring, and like I was literally like, ugh, like fuck, like I had to like turn it down. I was like, I can't, this is like disturbing me, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just that type of energy in the movie that was almost at points like too much for me to get past, you know, which is, I think is more a testament to how well it's made, but like I don't love that, you know.
I think that audio excerpt too, is that the, and forgive me if I'm getting it wrong, but is that the one where it's like marching up and down again? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So like that to me, it's drone like, you know, kind of like the song that we
Right.
were talking about, where it's repetitive over time, but you get sucked into it. And for me, the moment that it started repeating itself, like that's the shit that I get off on in a film, in a theater, where it's like, just keep going, how far will you go, or how long will you drag this out and then deliver, you know? So like those moments for me really leave an impact on me. And I think, Blake, I mean, the best advice is go see it before people start tainting your views of this movie, you know, because that is real. And that's why like I try to avoid as much as possible to get that experience in the seat where I'm like, holy shit, look at what he's doing, holy shit, you know, because in the second in the Bone Temple, that happened more than in this movie for me, but that was seeing it in the theaters, and that's where you really get that full cathartic experience, or at least I do. But I get what y'all are saying. I totally understand. It's not for everyone, but it is something.
Not y'all. I liked it.
But I would.
Trey's like, don't loop me into this. I'm not a pussy like Blake.
All I knew is that it was a zombie movie. I was like, oh, it's a zombie movie, and I was like, oh, this is like actually.
What about the concept of the alpha zombie? That's kind of new. What'd y'all think about that big swinging thing?
Yeah, I thought. Well, it is new and it's not at the same time. I mean, in I Am Legend, there's like the alpha zombie.
That's the first thing I thought of too.
Yeah, that's. I was like, oh, it's like the guy from I Am Legend, the really strong guy. Yeah.
I watched that movie, but like I've never rewatched that movie specifically for.
You should rewatch that movie.
Well,
because they're making a sequel.
Yeah, but there's a.
Well, they've been saying that for 30 years.
No, they're like actively doing it with Michael B. Jordan right now. He's
really?
Yeah, I Am Legend 2, because they're doing it based off of the alternate ending for I Am Legend.
Which is when he.
Is that where he doesn't kill his German Shepherd?
Right? Yeah,
is that where he doesn't murder his own dog?
Well, no, unfortunately, the German Shepherd does.
He has to kill the dog.
Right, but. How is that not worse than Old Yeller? But how is that not worse than Old Yeller? You know, like
it's way worse.
I agree. I agree. But no,
it's way more heartbreaking.
Yes, I don't know, but like that's
it's way
really
well because the purpose of Old Yeller is that happening, whereas that's not necessarily the purpose of I Am Legend. It's just a very sad thing.
So why put it in there? Why are you going to put it in there?
Because it's Anthony. Not everything can be fucking like sunshines and rainbows and daisies. Like sometimes living in the zombie apocalypse, bad shit happens. Like
I mean,
his dog got bit, man.
If anything, it showed how cool a relationship between a dog and a man can be, and how important that is.
And the dog dies protecting him.
Do y'all think
you're looking at this from the wrong
better
lens.
Zombie movie than 28 Years Later?
I Am Legend is a very good zombie.
I would say yes. Yeah, I would say. But I Am Legend's I Am Legend's one of my favorite movies. I think that movie is phenomenal.
I Am Legend with the alternate ending in particular is like a perfect zombie movie. It's there's so many good scenes.
It's basically a monologue for 80% of the movie. Like Will Smith just absolutely wrecks that film.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, and I did like the movie too. But I'm kind of glad to hear that Will Smith's not involved in the sequel, just because.
No, he is.
He is involved in the sequel.
Yeah. I think Michael B. Jordan is the protagonist, but I think Will Smith is still in it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you think Michael B. Jordan will sacrifice Will Smith in the sequel? Maybe. I'm not.
Why do you hate Will Smith?
A Will Smith fan for what he did on the Oscars. I mean, that's like. Show your true colors in front of the world, and you're written off for the rest of time. For me, personally,
that's fair. That's fair. All right, let's get into Wheel of Fate and Time.
Okay.
So we have Anthony. Yeah, we have Anthony with the albums. Oh wait, hang on. Spinner's choice. Spinner's choice. Okay, so Anthony is doing the albums, and his categories are. Is this the right one?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Okay, so it's 2010s hip hop top 100 from the Rolling Stone top 500 list. Perfect 10 on Pitchfork, and Anthony favorite or Spinner's choice. Are we ready?
Ready.
Wheel of fate in time, wheel of fate in time, wheel of fate in time. We got an Anthony pick.
An Anthony
Favorites.
favorite.
Thank you. Ooh, big crowd. All right, thank you.
Yeah,
So,
big-
Huge crowd.
All right, so y'all did an Incubus album prior to me coming on the podcast, so I would like to bring an Incubus album titled Make Yourself. That is very hard album. I think it's going to be fun. One of my favorites, always in rotation. I used to sing it at the top of my lungs while I was driving the garbage truck around. So let's see what we get.
Nice. All righty.
Nice. Love that.
And Trey has the movie. And for the movie categories, we have young adult novel turned movie, crime movie based on a true story, Trey favorite or Spinner's choice. Here we go.
Wheel of fate in time, wheel of fate in time, wheel of fate. Yes, that's the one I wanted the most. All right.
Crime movie.
Listen, we're gonna go pretty far back. We're gonna go back into the 1970s, I believe. We're gonna watch a movie it's Steve McQueen movie. It's called The Getaway. I just read the novel. I've never seen the movie. It was the Jesselnick pick for the book club in January. I've been trying to get Blake to read the book with me. He didn't. That's okay.
I thought you said I'd hate it.
No. I think you'd love it. You'd hate 5 a.m. The 5 a.m. club.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think you'd really this movie is this book is very good, very interesting. I've never seen the movie, so apparently it's pretty good. But we're gonna go with like an old movie, which I feel like we don't do very often. So I don't know where you can find it.
Getaway?
It's called The Getaway, but it's the one from the 70s with Steve McQueen, not the one with Alec Baldwin.
Okay. It's on Prime.
Sweet.
So that's the last one, or we can that's the easy one.
But it's like it should be like a film noir type of situation.
1972. Okay, not Alec Baldwin. So maybe it's not on Prime. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm interested. Consider me interested.
It's on
Tubi.
Tubi.
Yay.
Tubi, there we go. All right. Well, it was a blast. Could you guys stay for just like a quick second? Sure. Everybody else, hope you enjoyed. Go check out totallybiasmusic.com, and we will see you guys soon. Bye.
Peace.